What's the word with y'all boys, man? We back with another video. Today we reacting to the NBA star who wants to be a gangster, Ja Morant. Man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, say what you want about him off the court. I ain't gonna lie. On the court, bro, he's one of my favorite players. I can't lie. It's him. Anthony Edwards, bro. I've been on Anthony Edwards since he was a rookie, bro. Y'all been sleeping. Now y'all finally up, though. But yeah, him, Anthony Edwards, Curry. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't really think of too much right now, but dude, I fuck with Chet Holmgren too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. I can't really think though like that. But yeah, shit. Let's get straight to the video though. Let me stop all that yapping.
For many inner city kids in America, there's a notion of having two options: rap or go to the league. An idea that numerous artists and writers have referenced over the years. It speaks to the only option that kids who grew up in the hood have to make it out and forge a better life for themselves. And for thousands of people who strive to find fortune in the studio or on the court, this was the reality. But what happens when a kid from a small town in North Carolina with a middle-class, two-parent household upbringing decides to start acting like he was from the trenches when the world's eyes are finally on him? Well, the answer is that he heads down a strange path of posturing and potentially life-altering decision-making, which threatens to overshadow their incredible skills on the court.
It's one thing for you to do stupid, idiotic, irresponsible things. It's another thing for you to catch yourself.
And only now, after being taught some harsh lessons, is he starting to see the light. It's your boy GANGSTA, and this is how Ja Morant's wannabe gangster phase
Bro, if he then,
almost
bro,
ruined his
oh my
career.
god.
If you ask Memphis Grizzlies' Ja Morant what it's like to be him, he'll inform you that he's always carrying the weight of the world
if he do
on
it a
his
third
shoulders.
time, bro, he might get kicked out the league, bro.
Being Ja Morant. Very, and I felt like, I didn't pay enough attention to that, when it got rough, and, I pretty much just let it all build up, and that's why I felt like, I needed, my time away to, better myself and, become a more healthy Ja.
But the truth is that things haven't had to be quite as difficult as he's made them. Born and raised in Dalzell, South Carolina, an area with an airbase and a population of 3,000, whose crime is 41% below the national average, Ja Morant's aptitude for basketball first came to the forefront at Crestwood High School. From there, he played in one of the premier teams in Amateur Athletic Union basketball with the South Carolina Hornets, before heading to college to head up 2 seasons with the Murray State Racers. After becoming an All-American, this hotly tipped talent was the 2nd overall pick in the 2019 draft when the Memphis Grizzlies decided to take the chance on him, and courtesy of his incredible season in 2020, he became NBA Rookie of the Year as well as a 2-time All-Star. A point guard who's as versatile as they come, Ja is a generational talent.
Hey, but y'all gotta think about it, he's in Memphis too though, bro.
T. Morant's dream too. Accomplishing what the former baller who played with Ray Allen at Crestwood High School never managed
Ray?
Like you said, a friendly guy, like everybody loves him, down to earth, take care of everybody, show everybody, love no matter if he knew you for, years or 3 minutes. He treat everybody the same, and that's, with love and care. For me, growing up, I always said he was my first hater, so now to see him on the sideline, running up and down, jumping up, cheering, it was different for me as well, but now it's like, all right, now he's kind of, showing me, and now it gave me, even more confidence when I'm out there playing that, all right, if he's cheering and he's happy, then I know I'm doing something right.
Because of all these attributes, Ja earned immense praise for his never say die attitude and impeccable abilities on the hardwood.
He talks the talk and then goes out there and says, give me the damn ball, I ain't hiding. You remember this, the historic.
Boy, I ain't gonna lie, without these 2 incidents that he had, bro, he'd be the face of the league. Or he wouldn't be the face, he'd be one of the face.
That you are, Mad Dog. When you look at George Karl, for example, former great coach, Seattle, Milwaukee, various other places, and tremendous coach, Denver. Let's not forget that. George Karl talked about how you got a whole bunch of dudes that want to be max guys. They want the money, but they don't want the moment. They don't want the max moment. They don't want that moment that defines what greatness is all about. That ain't Ja Morant. Ja Morant is the kind of dude, he wants that moment. As he said, he wants the smoke. He's walking up the chimney. They want all of it. Even when he missed that game-winning shot in game 1, it's your willingness to take it. The fact that everybody knows, don't even think about shooting the damn ball. We got to get it to this dude because this dude will have a heart attack if you don't give it to him. He wants the moment. And when you look at stars in the NBA, that's what really personifies who they are. LeBron in the latter years, not the earlier years, in the latter years, definitely so. D-Wade, definitely so. Kobe, definitely so. You look, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, people like that.
Yep.
This is what you see. This is why Klay Thompson is going into the Hall of Fame one day, because you saw Game 6 when he hits, 3-pointers and drops 41 points and stuff like that. Moments define stardom,
bro.
and this is what Ja.
I just hate that Clay had to have that game in the elimination game before he left the Warriors, bro. Damn, bro.
Durant is not hesitant to give you. He seems to know it. He seems to know what it requires, and that's part of being a face of a franchise and of a league. Yeah. And I'm telling you, he's got a chance.
After striking deals with Nike and Powerade among others, Ja's demonstrable value to the league meant that by July 2022, he was essentially set for life on the financial front by inking a 5-year, $183 million extension with the Grizzlies. But from almost the moment that contract was inked, the Grizzlies would be wondering if they made a mistake, as now that he had more money than he ever needed, Morant's focus drifted in ways that no one, including the team, would have imagined, and left people wondering why
he's trying to make it into the hood. Oh
this kid from South Carolina seemed intent on destroying everything he had built. Among all the accolades Ja received, the one he likely valued the most was being name-dropped in hip-hop tracks, joining the ranks of basketball stars immortalized in
12 to 12, I'm trying to bust the clock, the Ja Morant flow.
Rap. Artists would always
sit on and off the court. Get the low and the light ring around the road.
Reference him in their lyrics, solidifying his presence in the culture. A devoted hip-hop fan himself, Ja has even admitted that he listens almost exclusively to trap music before stepping on the court.
Hey, that boy ready to shoot shit, man.
And while it's not exactly unusual for NBA
I know for a fact he be practicing that precisely shit at home.
To love hip-hop, Ja started taking it one step further. Suddenly, he was talking like he was a boastful rapper on a track about their opponents before achieving anything.
Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're gonna have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West?
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
And with that, Ja got roasted for his overconfidence. Or as Klay Thompson put it,
you can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before. I don't think people realize how hard that is, the commitment and sacrifice it takes. I mean, you gotta sacrifice your body. And I thought that was premature talk, to talk.
Off the court, Ja began to adopt a brand new image too. Suddenly decked out in jewelry from rappers' as favorites like Johnny Dang, he began flashing diamond grills at press conferences.
How much money? Like 30K. If you do the diamonds, you gotta go big. You feel me? There you go.
Now, this didn't immediately ring alarm bells. After all, vaguely cosplaying as your favorite MCs is one thing, but the problem comes when you try to inhibit the lifestyles of those gangster rappers whose experiences you're only familiar with through your car stereo speakers. And sure enough, this is what Ja Morant was about to do, complete with guns, gang signs, and getting himself suspended from the sport he loves.
Gang signs? What gang is he posing for, bro? Bro, oh nah, bro. Like,
decisions.
Why was he even waving a gun though, bro? He had no ops.
Started to go off the rails.
Only ops
at
he
a time
had
when
was
he had
the
a new
Warriors.
signature Nike shoe, a top-selling jersey, and playing an instrumental role in providing the Grizzlies with the second best record in the Western Conference. Stories of Ja embracing his inner thug started coming to light. For starters, security at a Memphis mall told police that Morant threatened him during an altercation in the parking lot. This came about after his mom.
I'm telling y'all, bro, he got in touch with the Memphis steppers, bro. He got in touch with them, bro, and now he think he like that too, bro.
had an issue with a fellow Finish Line employee, prompting Morant to arrive with a massive entourage. As the group was leaving the premises, Ja Morant reportedly said, "Let me find out what time he gets off," while the guard said that he felt threatened by the statement from Ja Morant, but this was only the beginning. In September of 2022, it was widely reported online that Ja punched a 17-year-old during a pickup game, which left a large knot on the side of his head. With the boy claiming that Ja hit me like 12 to 13 times, Morant later admitted that he swung first after the kid threw a ball at his head. But what Ja didn't reveal was that he wasn't exactly ready to let it go. According to a report, the teenager told detectives from the Shelby County Sheriff's Office that after the fight, Morant went into his house and re-emerged with a gun visible in the waistband of his pants, his hands on the weapon. Then, he allegedly threatened, "I'm gonna come back and light this place up like fireworks."
Oh shit! What the fuck? Is Ja Morant actually like that? Hold on, I heard about the punch report. I didn't hear about the where he's spinning the block. What the fuck? Whoa, motherfucker popped out the cut like Tyrone. Oh no, like Tyrone from All American, huh? Oh no. Bro, what the fuck? What you mean he had it on his waistband and pointed at him telling what? Oh, so what the fuck?
Fortunately, his father stepped in before things escalated
Since
any
when
further.
did bro
His dad was yelling
ever
at him like, no,
like this?
go back in the house. His lawyer, Jim Tanner, dismissed the claims, calling them unsubstantiated rumors and gossip, and arguing that they were put out by people motivated to tear Ja down and tarnish his reputation for their own financial gain. And at the time, everyone seemed willing to give Ja the benefit of the doubt. After all, it's not like it's the first time that someone has concocted a story to try and extort.
Was once sued for $21 million over sexual assault. Bro, sexual assault. What the fuck? Hold on. My bad. I got my Invisalign shit in. Yeah, alright. Yeah, sexual assault allegations always pop up, bro. Like, most of the time, they're not even true, bro. That shit sucks.
A famous athlete out of their hard-earned cash. But the problem is that his appetite for gunplay was about to become all too clear. After a hard-fought loss, in which Morant got into it with some staff at the arena, someone in Morant's vehicle allegedly pointed the laser sight of a gun towards members of the Indiana Pacers' organization. And after the cumulative weight of...
Bro, this motherfucker Ja Morant is the fucking, Tony Soprano of the NBA, bro. Except he not doing nothing except he ain't killing nobody or nothing like that in GTA, bro. He's just like threatening them.
All these stories came down, people began to look at Ja a little sideways. And almost straight away, some people were ready to write him off once and for all. This clown is a thug, a highly paid thug.
Man, Eugene, shut your bitch ass up, bro. Fuck you talking, bro? Hate motherfuckers with labels like that, bro.
Showed little sympathy and believed that he was simply trying to do something he wasn't.
Ja Morant is a prime example of a man that's living his teenage identity as a grown man. You know, when he's struggling with his identity.
Right.
His father played with Ray Allen. His mother was a softball player, so we know in the forefront of the house it was sports. Mm-hmm. He's growing up, he's watching people, he wanted to be tough, and now he's messing up the bag. He's a bad example, and we on his ass.
He fucked up the, he's fucking up the bag. He's actively fucking
it up.
So they said that
trying to fuck up the bag.
Suddenly, the kid who was so humble when he was given his opportunity at the NBA draft and spent years training in the backyard with his father to get there, was embodying a life far removed from his.
What the boy? Oh yeah. Actually, it's a good thing I ain't paused right there. I ain't gonna go. But damn, bro, that motherfucker had that thick on like those stuff, gang. Bro, bro, them little panties, that shit do not count as no panties, but damn, bro, she had the bit going, shit, I ain't allowed somebody like me, bro, if I go to the club like that, bro, I'm gonna have to, or I'm not forcing it, obviously, I'm talking about, like, bro, if I'm paying for a dance, I might as well, like, bro, you better do more than the dance for sure, I'm like, go like these, you know what I'm saying? Just close up like these type shit.
To his fondness on social media too. Prone to sharing stories of him and his friends wilding out, Ja initially didn't see a problem with what he was doing.
And you were certainly the topic of a bunch of things on social media because you were going on IG Live and showing everyone the fun you were having. What did you think about the reaction that people had to you being on IG Live?
Bro, keep in mind, bro.
Ooh, that's a good question.
She look good, so that's
I
my
honestly
boy
just feel
probably
like, you
finna
know, in my
overrule.
job, my profession, that I
Overlap
feel
this
like,
shit.
you know, people kind of think, you know, we're not human as well. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who goes and have a drink. But because I'm on IG Live and fans around the world, you know, see it, I feel like they kind of, you know, blew it up like, you know, some was, you know, Ja having the time of his life, you know, he's living, which, you know, I feel like I should, you know. I achieved my dream. I feel like every day you should celebrate life, especially if you wake up that morning. I feel like you can, you know, you could never take life for granted.
But his mom warned him about lashing out at fans.
It really be my mom. She be trying to, you know, get me off of Twitter all the time. Like, don't even go on Twitter. Don't look at your phone. Like,
Facts.
you know, I be
Don't
seeing
be like
people
Kevin
talking
Durant,
all the time
bro.
before games,
That
after
boy
games.
Kevin Durant
I normally
always
don't say
arguing
too
with
much,
some
you know,
fans,
before.
man.
Sometimes I want to, but, you know, I be like, nah, we got to lock in on the game. Like, you know, just let them win.
Especially
you know, do the
with this
talking or
dude
whatever. So
thinking
then
he
after the fact,
like thinking like he's like the fucking mob boss of the NBA, bro. Yeah, don't argue on Twitter because you already know that boy John Morant gonna pop up at their doorstep instead. Fucking with that motherfucker on his waistband, fucking flash that shit.
if we win now, I can say whatever I want.
Because many times, Ja strayed a little too far from mocking his haters to making actual threats or talking like he was raised in Compton. Ja, why?
Because the money won't ever change me. Been on that, still on. But he said like as he was raised on from Compton though. That's tough. Because the money won't ever change me. Been on that, still on that, forever on that. Won't ever speak on it. But the real question is, when he was a kid though, was he actually on that?
You get on here thugging.
Before he got in the NBA, was he actually on that?
Because the money won't ever change me. Been on that, still on that, forever on that. Don't ever speak on it. It's free to see how hollows feel. With the average NBA viewer's patience wearing thin, people began to compare Ja to Pop Beal. With forever on that. Don't ever speak on it. It's free to see how hollows feel.
Yo, who does
With
he
the
think
average
he
NBA
is?
viewer's patience wearing thin, people began to compare Ja to Papa Doc, the bad guy from Eminem's
Yep, that's what I
8 Mile
heard.
who acts tough, and then is later revealed to have gone to a good school and whose parents have a real good marriage. On the other hand, people found it straight up embarrassing to watch him abandon his real upbringing for a fake persona. It's cringe to see someone raised the right way suddenly claiming a street life. The obsession with looking tough is getting out of hand. Despite the tide of public opinion churning on Ja, he decided not to back down, but double down. And soon, he was seen in a nightclub with a pistol.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what is the mind... Bro, what is the thought process on this shit, bro? Who are you flashing a pistol at, bro? You got no ops, and the ops are not watching, bro. Like, why is he flashing a pistol, bro? Oh my god. Yo, what the fuck, bro? That's tough, man.
And if he thought that people were heated at all his posturing before, this made things 10 times worse. Particularly when people would kill for the opportunity that he was now squandering.
Facts.
What bothers me the most is not—
And they would literally kill. Literally. No bullshit,
not
bro.
him ruining his own career, but that young men will watch this and look up to his behavior. Even without the millions, all it takes is one bad choice. Make a change for the better, even if it takes changing your circle of so-called friends. And almost immediately, the backlash turned into punishment.
Yeah.
Hours after the Grizzlies basketball game, Morant was seen on his personal Instagram inside of a club holding what appears to be a gun in his hand
no, it
while
is.
listening to music. The post comes at a time where Morant is facing heavy scrutiny for a string of off-the-court incidents. In one case, he's accused of punching a teenage boy.
He shouldn't have gone to Memphis, bro. I ain't gonna cap, bro. He should have went to some place like fucking Utah, the Utah Jazz, or trying to think, what else? Another spot. Yeah, Should have went to Utah. Cause bro, Memphis, bro, that's one of the spots for real, bro. Nah.
The basketball game. Morant is also accused of threatening a security guard at a Memphis mall this past summer. Regarding this latest incident, the Grizzlies announced that Morant will be away from the team for at least 2 games following the controversial Instagram post. Moments ago, Morant issued a statement through his agent saying,
bro, that's a fire-ass mural, though. Or not mural. That's a fire-ass. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is mural, right? Hold on. Wait. Don't quote me on that. Hold on. For a second. Hold on. Yeah. That's a fire-ass mural. Cause I don't know, for some reason I thought that was like something that only represents dead, but nah, yeah. That's a fire-ass mural, though, for sure.
I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being.
And you know damn well he ain't write that shit, bro. His agent told him his agent wrote that shit for him, man.
As pressure mounted on the Grizzlies to do something about it, the NBA then intervened and handed him an 8-game suspension for conduct detrimental to the league. In the aftermath, Ja entered therapy and claimed he was intent on working on himself. And in his first interview before returning, he inferred that he had to cut ties with his inner circle over what went down.
You know, I'm big on loyalty, but I had, like I said, have to be there for myself. I have to put myself in good position. So I have to find out, who's ready for me and who's going to help me, be in good positions at all times. And that's the decisions I had to make. Decisions I felt good about and very comfortable about. That I'm gonna be in a positive light now with everything that I've made, everything that I've learned in my 2 weeks.
And in a less than gangster move, Ja also said it wasn't his gun.
Whose gun?
Oh my God!
The gun wasn't mine.
Bro, this man just dry snitched, bro.
It's not who I am. I don't condone any type of violence, but I take,
Hey, bro, y'all better hope the NBA or whoever did not go on no cameras and look at whoever else was with him. Cause, bro, oh fuck no, bro, they better be licensed too, bro. Cause if not, and they got caught up, bro, that's
full responsibility, for my actions. Made a bad mistake.
Damn, but Dumber got a thick
image,
mustache
that I painted, over myself.
That's the opposite of my shit.
Recent mistakes.
Can't even see my shit. My shit little as hell, G.
I'm gonna show everybody who Ja really is. What I'm about, and change this narrative that everybody got painted over me.
Above all, Ja's main intention with the interview was to suggest that miraculous change had happened during his time away from the court, which had cost him about $669,000 in forfeited salary.
Pretty much just trying to be free. Use that as an escape, which I shouldn't have, and I feel like
but for someone like me though, man, motherfucker, I know motherfucker got to kill for that shit.
That's the reason, I made many, bad decisions, in my past.
And this
which
dude
doesn't,
over here
pretty much
like,
describes me, doesn't
he's not making
this
shit per game, bro.
Totally different person, than what's been shown,
making all that
in the
money,
media.
bro.
That's my job now. That's why I took that time.
Bro, motherfuckers will kill for what you make in a game, bro. In one game, motherfuckers will put their whole life on the line for that shit. That's tough.
I'm a way to, become a better Ja, so everybody really can, see who Ja really is and, what he's about.
In the interview with Jalen Rose, Morant put his PR skills to work. He said all the right things and provided the right sound bites to put forth the message that he was a new.
We're also lucky I'm editing out these ads, bro. That's 3 ads already. God damn.
It took him 10 days to memorize the answers he needed to give the media. He never seemed mentally stressed. A great publisher once said, "Don't believe what a person says. Believe what they do." Courtesy of his recent antics, all eyes were on Ja when he returned to the court, particularly after all of his online posturing and other incidents like throwing up crip mid-celebration.
Like, why is he throwing up crip, bro.
After all that happened, Jaw had a second chance to prove that he wasn't the wannabe gangster that everyone feared, and this was merely a lapse in judgment.
Like, bro, look at how gifted he is, though, bro.
And this was merely a lapse.
Look how, bro, what the fuck? This motherfucker flying in the air, bro.
Judgment.
Look how high he is jumping. God
several lapses
damn.
in judgment. But those hopes all came crashing down when he did it again just 2 months later.
Like,
Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant has been suspended for a...
And just 2 months later.
He tried to get
Memphis
the camera
Grizzlies
off
star Ja Morant has been suspended for a
25.
second time after once again appearing to flash a
25.
gun on social media. The video circulated on Saturday night. It shows Morant with what appears to be a handgun while he's riding in a friend's car. Yesterday, the Grizzlies said they were aware of the video and suspended Morant from all team activities pending league review. In March, Morant was suspended for 8 games after he was seen holding a gun inside a nightclub on Instagram Live. A representative for Morant did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
Instantly banned from all team activities, Ja would end up receiving a huge 25-game ban. Ja Morant's decision to once again wield a firearm on social media is alarming and disconcerting, given his similar conduct in March, for which he was already
bro,
suspended
you're one of the,
8
like,
games,
bro, you're in the
said
top
NBA
tier of
Adam
rich
Silver.
people,
The
bro.
potential
You
for
out
other
here
young people
flashing
to
guns
emulate
like
Ja's
that,
conduct
bro.
is particularly concerning.
tough.
Under these circumstances, we believe a suspension of 25 games is appropriate. It makes clear that engaging in reckless and irresponsible behavior with guns will not be tolerated. For Ja, basketball needs to take a back seat at this time. Prior to his return to play, he will be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to repeat this destructive behavior. While Adam Silver's concerns seem to be constructive, the frustration that was felt by others over such a talented kid trading it in just to act tough was so overwhelming that it boiled over into anger. For one thing, he was taken to task by Joe Budden and the crew for discarding his real image in favor of the veneer of gang life that he was now enlisting.
I know your upbringing wasn't that.
I guarantee you, he wasn't even posted up downtown, bro. South Carolina even had... Nah, every place got a downtown, but yeah. But bro, he's from Carolina. Is Carolina even moving like that?
You got your natural all your teeth, nigga. 32 of them.
And his dad's at every game, like you said.
And your dreads look good, nigga.
Yeah.
Your locks look good.
Go to Jamaica with them dreads.
And your dad's at every game, bro. Like, come on, man. You got your dad at every game, bro.
Just saying, like, your dad is at every game. Your dad lives next door.
Talk about
Steven Adams is on your team. Talk about discipline.
And in sports pundit circles, individuals like Shannon Sharp felt that he could only learn his lesson the hard way.
Skip, I think a lot of people say I wanted me to come out here today and say I'm surprised, I'm shocked, I'm disappointed in Ja's behavior. And I'm not. I said before, the best apology is change behavior. And when he was going through all this diatribe about what he learned about being away from the game, Skip, and how important it was to him, I say I see better than I hear. I heard everything Ja said. Now I say, now moving forward, I'm going to see if the behavior meets what he said. And clear, Rattle. And so at this point in time, Skip, where I am, I'm not even upset at Ja. I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I'm disgusted by the people that defended him.
Dude is a living example of how to fumble a bag.
Thanks.
Dylan Brooks, I'ma be the biggest clown in the NBA. Ja Morant, hold my gun. Then there was the testimony of people who had really been in those shoes he seemed so eager to fill. As the second suspension was handed down, he was taken to task for throwing up Crip and other incidents by Keyshawn Johnson, a former wide receiver in the NFL who was really about that life in his youth. In fact, when he was just in 8th grade, Keyshawn spent 9 months in the California youth facility after being arrested for possession of marijuana, cocaine, and a concealed handgun. To him, the whole thing just made no sense.
He shouldn't be there, man. I grew up in the streets of Los Angeles, in the ghetto. Okay, I grew up around gangs and gun violence. I've been shot before. My sisters have been shot before. That's not it. It just really isn't. You, and I'm not even talking about the money, but you put yourself in a position, because first of all, you're not from the streets. So let's stop that. Let's just stop it. That's why people that are from the streets are kind of ticked off about his behavior, because they would die to be in his shoes. And then he continued to put himself in this position. You don't do nothing but alienate.
Like, bro, he makes all that money, bro. That's like what motherfuckers really be mad about, gang. Like, bro, motherfuckers will do a whole lot to even get a quarter of what you got, gang. Nah, not even a quarter of 5% of what you got. Like, come on, bro.
These individuals will make them mad when you having fun or whatever you doing, but you out there looking real silly instead of saying, nah, you know what, that's not what I want to do. I just want to play basketball. He's a basketball player, and he needs to really, and there's people around him, they need to really get him to understand, man, you play basketball. You don't want that life right there, that club, guns, alcohol, that's not it.
Another individual who warned him that life was nothing to take a field trip into was Brick Baby, a Crip member who suggested that what he was doing was the polar opposite of the route anyone who's really about that life wants to take.
You know, he got a $200 million contract.
Yeah.
Like 200 mil, bro?
If you ain't from the trenches, why do you get money and want to live like this where you from? And everybody that's in the trenches want to be like you. The fuck are you even doing? You got 200 million. We know it's a gun somewhere around you. You got security outside of your homeboys or whoever. And then nobody even bringing light to the fact that this bitch ass nigga Ja that told him it wasn't his gun. Oh, it wasn't even my gun in the video. So who gun was it?
So I said he's dry snitching, bro.
Itself, there were concerns over not only his career, but his safety going forward.
Some of the things that he finds himself engaged in.
Oh, all right. Now we're just going too far. People in NBA circles fear Ja Morant might be dead in 5. Get the fuck out of y'all. Now y'all are just talking, bro. Now y'all are just talking. You don't actually got beef with nobody, so what are you talking about?
Things of that nature, and obviously he feels compelled pretty much all the time to have a gun around.
Right, these headlines be talking about anything, bro.
All those things that I just mentioned.
Oh my God,
I'm not at liberty to speak on, but I can tell you this. I'm from the streets of New York City, and a lot of players I know are from the streets, period. And I can tell you that people within the NBA community are not just concerned about Ja Morant playing basketball. They're concerned about whether or not he's going to be alive in 5 years.
Bro, Stephen A. Smith is lying, bro. Try to fucking cap.
Around and the
like, no way would he be dead in 5 years. Or is there even a possibility of him getting smoked in 5 years? By who? He has no ops.
Anything about the kind of things that are going on with him find themselves concerned about.
Wow. Others were less grim about the whole thing and simply wished to give advice. At a time when it was the hottest issue in the sports world, Lil Wayne used his own life experiences to discuss how Ja was living up to the wrong expectations.
You know, what's the necessity part of doing that? What's that, posting yourself, saying, look what I'm doing. I was like, what I mean by that is because I'm trying to
snitching on yourself too. Like,
put
come on,
myself
bro.
in his shoes, understand it. And I was like, so the best I can do without them answering, before they answered that question, I told them where I was at with it. I said, so the best I best I could do is remember when I was younger, and my squad, y'all, my niggas around me, and we at the age where they don't have money. So if I was going through something at that point in time, something public like what Slime going through, I said I could imagine the rebellious attitude I would have if my homies is egging that attitude on.
Right. But unlike most people, Weezy actually suggested his gangster credentials might have been realer than most people were giving him credit for.
Cause he ain't no thug. Cause he ain't in the street. He ain't about that. You know, gang. You don't want that. How y'all know? You don't want. Y'all know that boy? Do y'all know that boy? Cause I don't. I know him from dunking and jumping, and I only started knowing him when I started paying attention to him around his last year of college. He come from like a town with 3,000 people. Like what? What y'all expect? Y'all what?
3,000. What the fuck are you talking about?
I just said a town with 3,000 people. You expect him to be responsible? Now we tripping then. Yeah, now we tripping. Yeah, we expecting him to be. That's magic. Cause I could tell you, I come from a real well-raised, beautiful mother, nice. You know what I mean? My mama bust her ass to make sure everything around me was nice. I still was a knucklehead. I shot myself. You know what I mean? So
despite his best intentions, Tunchi couldn't get through to Ja. In fact, he ghosted him after he attempted to reach out through Skip Bayless.
Texted me, he said, hey, can you connect me with Ja? Because I could help him. I've been there. I've done all this. I wound up in prison on Rikers Island. I know what happens. I know where you can go wrong, and I know what's right. I said, I'll try. And I reached out to Ja. Would you sit with Lil Wayne? Would you talk with Lil Wayne? Wayne would fly to him. He'd fly to Memphis in a heartbeat. Tonight, Wayne would private plane it and go right to Memphis if he thought he could save a career and a soul. I got nothing back.
But even if it wasn't Wayne who got through him, it appears that something eventually switched within Ja. as before long, he would be on a redemption arc that seems to suggest that he learned just how coveted the spot he's in truly is. Just 1 week before returning to the court, Ja had to deal with another consequence of his year's worth of misguided behavior. He turned up to the court and faced his civil suit over the allegations that he beat up a 17-year-old.
Do you recall?
I just punched him. Oh.
Left side of my face. Yeah, hurt?
I forgot about this shit.
I mean, yeah. It good? Nah. Were you surprised? Yeah.
Immediately, this seemed like a newly centered Ja. He even took it in his stride as the conduct in the court got progressively ridiculous.
Are those real diamonds?
I forgot how stupid, bro. I forgot how dumb these jewelries were, bro.
I'm a millionaire.
Fair enough.
While he was freed from any lawsuit hovering over him, Ja
Like,
still
what?
couldn't have been feeling good. Because after everything he had done, his team was faltering without him in a way that could
Like,
have
you
been
just
avoided.
ask somebody who's touching 100 mil if they got real diamonds, bro.
Going 1-6 at the beginning of the season, and people didn't let him forget either.
The Memphis Grizzlies walked in the Sunday night's game against the Portland Trailblazers 0-6. This is a team that is considered a title contender when Ja Morant is on the court. With him off the court, these dudes are winless. If Ja Morant was on the floor, we wouldn't be thinking about them like this. We wouldn't be looking at an 0-6 Memphis Grizzlies team. Is he off the court because he's injured? No. Is he off the court because of some kind of family emergency or some kind of tragedy that took place? No. He's off the court because he wasn't thinking about his teammates when he was on it. See, y'all out there encouraging people to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, while you got your hand out for somebody else's money. Shut the hell up. How'd that work out for him now? It's all right to love somebody and be pissed off at them for getting in their own way. You ain't selling out, you looking out.
Initially, fans didn't know what to expect from Ja when it was time for him to step back onto the court. But Ja himself insisted that he was more than ready to return.
It's been a process. Obviously thankful for, the support, I had during this time. Obviously it's not easy, not being out there on the floor and, having to watch. But, with everything else, being around the team, being able to practice, being able to travel, the guys just constantly, talking to me and, vice versa. It's been good.
And sure enough, he was. Making his return in December 2023 against the New Orleans Pelicans, scoring 27 of 34 points. Since then, Ja has kept his nose clean and committed himself to the Grizzlies. Flanked by other informed players like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Canadian rookie Zach Edey, Ja has guided the Memphis team to their current position of 4th in the Western Conference. Despite getting less game time, Ja has earned 20.7 points per game and 44.7 from the field, 7.4 assists per game, 32.1% from the 3, and 55.7% in true shooting percentage. As a result, he's back on the right path towards being held in the highest esteem. Those assist numbers are quietly impressive too. Ja's not just getting buckets, he's making everyone around him better. That separates good from great. He's even at the stage where he's scoring by accident while attempting assists.
Morant, another, he put it in! Do it in. Bagley was looking for the lob.
But above all, he has found a way to channel all that energy he was dedicating to gangster posturing into something productive, by bringing a little animosity back to the sport when viewing figures are in free fall.
What is it about this Laker team? It always...
I don't like them. They knocked me out the playoffs. And then last year, we, had a game and they came in here and popped it on our home floor when I was in street clothes. So I wasn't a night. I told him that last time too.
This, along with his playing style, has garnered comparisons to none other than AI, which even the Sixers legend himself has said, the eye test says yeah, it's Ja. Iverson said during an interview. And 99% of people I think that I've had a conversation with, that I've heard on social media on everything, is me and him being compared. You look at the size, well, everybody's taller than me. The attitude, the if it's me against you, it's me, the way his teammates feel about him, the greatest feeling that I had as a player was my teammates feeling like if they had me with them, then we could beat anybody. And I feel like that's Ja's squad. That's how they feel about him. We got him. We can beat anybody. Now riding high once more, Gilbert Arenas has even gone as far as to say that he's the man to take the mantle of star from LeBron.
I ain't gonna lie, that's Ant, bro. That's Ant.
But jersey sales, everything.
AI,
he's
it was
there.
like an AI and Kobe. We need some.
The future is all foreigners.
That what?
No,
I just named 3 of them. Then you're gonna add Wemby.
Do we need more American stars?
Particularly as even after everything that's happened, he has the 7th best selling jersey of the year, thus far out of the entirety of the league. He has the 7th best selling jersey of the year thus far.
Or top 15. So you got top 15? Sorry, so Curry, I already know that. You already know that. LeBron, Jason Tatum. Oh shit, he's third best. Jalen Brunson's number 4. Victor Wembanyama, yeah, okay. Number 5. Anthony Edwards, number 6, yeah. John Murray, number 7. Luka, number 8. Giannis, number 9. I'm surprised he all the way back there. You would think him and Jason Tatum would be reversed. Same with Jokic. Same with, say, LaMelo Ball. Yeah, that's cool. KD. Damn, he all the way back there, too. D. Book has 14? Damn, how the fuck he make it up all the way over here, bro? I mean, it's probably because he got the number 1. He got, yeah. D. Mitch. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Are out of the entirety of the league.
So we got 1 and 2, right? They're gone. Number 3, right? Very quiet. 4, very quiet.
Great podcast, though.
5, overseas. Now you got 6, 7, right? 6, 7, and 12 for the American.
In another instance, he went further with it too, and suggested it wasn't even a hypothetical situation, just a matter of timing.
Who got suspended? They took your shoe off.
Nah,
They
we
got
got
1,000 emails, and they had to put it back in, and it sold out. Who was that guy?
Kyrie Irving. Demetrius Jamal Murray.
Okay, thank you. That was the person that was next in line. He had a fall.
That's a fact.
All they're doing is waiting for him to clean up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be him because the person who controls the kids controls the market.
No, for sure.
That was Kyrie.
I get it.
That's Ja.
I get it.
Those are the 2 people who controlled the kids. When the NBA is ready, Memphis is coming off that.
I go like John Morant controlling the kids is not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That should never happen. That should not happen. I ain't gonna lie. That should not happen.
Public backlash,
John
a wake-up
Morant being able
call
to
from his
control the kids?
father,
Oh, no.
the sting of losing nearly $8 million in suspensions, or the realization that his opportunity was bigger than just him, Ja has made a serious effort to turn his life and career around. Now, the real test is whether he can stay on course, continue to mature, and fulfill his potential as one of the all-time greats.
Because he
It's
is
your boy,
a
The
really
Waste,
good
and I
basketball
want to thank
player,
y'all
bro.
for watching today's video.
Really
Make sure you
good.
guys like and subscribe if you did, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Hey, we made it through the video. If you made it through the video with me, man, appreciate you a lot from the bottom of my heart. If you're new, like, subscribe, comment down below what you want me to react to next. Know what I'm saying? But like I said, wait, or actually before I get into that, do y'all, like, in the comments, let me know, do y'all think he gonna do it a 3rd time? Do you think he'd really be dumb enough to do it a 3rd time? Let me know. Because we said the same thing about whenever the 1st time happened, that he wouldn't do it a 2nd time. So who knows? Personally, I don't think he'll do it. But then again, I have no idea. We don't know him personally, so who knows? But yeah, that's crazy though. He makes all that money and just chose to move like that. That's crazy, bro. But yeah, after saying all that though, know what I'm saying? I think we gonna react to like one more video after this. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna let y'all go. Hopefully, I see you on another one of my videos. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? However you feel. But yeah, shit, after saying all that, we out. Peace.